Heading down the stretch here, last week of the regular season, and heading into senior night, and the uh, NCAA tournament selection show this weekend. So, a lot in front of us, and trying to continue to get better. So we'll open it up.
The other night you talked about the unforced errors that really undid you against that level of a team. Is there a thread to those that you pull together, or is it just different people, different plays, different situations where it comes up? And how do you try and fix those kinds of things? Because that's what you can't do as you move to what you're trying to do here in the next few weeks.
I think what we've shown is our high end has been really high, and our low end has been lower than what you would like to see. That gap has been too big, and typically at this time of the year, it's usually in here and probably a little bit more predictable, and so we've got to narrow that. It's too it's been a little bit too wide. We had too many self-inflicted wounds in that match to go on the road and be able to win. We were certainly in the ball game with each sets, and which is a little bit remarkable with the number of errors that we had. But our opponents also had quite a bit of errors, probably more than what they're used to, and I think that had to do with some of the pressure that we were applying. But yeah, we've got to. The range from match to match has probably been a little bit bigger than certainly what we'd like to see.
How can this team maybe use this next week to kind of find who they are heading into the postseason, and maybe two teams that you would expect to beat on paper? Does that make things easier to kind of get your footing right before you go into the postseason?
Yeah, it's a you'd like to finish your regular season off strong. I think that's a goal of any coach in any team, no matter where you're at, whether you've already clinched it, a conference tournament, or whether if you're, whether you're kind of locked into getting into the tournament or something. You're always looking to build momentum, and I think everybody knows that this is a team that has had some amazing wins, one of the toughest schedules in the country, and there's been some matches. It's like, man, we look like a runaway freight train, and there's others. It's like, man, we're really having to fight through some quicksand here, and but at the end of the day, this has been an elite team that has had some challenges in front of them. Challenges not just in a negative way, but challenges. Man, we've come up with some really nice wins, and there's been some others. Is like, man, we just got bounced on the chin, and and I would say just about every team in the country has been in that place. It's going to be. That's the beauty of college volleyball. I would say when you're taking a look at teams that are capable of getting to a regional, let's say teams that are capable of getting to a Final Four, I think you can get yourself down to 15, 16 teams that you could easily picture getting to a Final Four. I don't think I've ever seen where that many teams are capable of getting there. And so you either sit there and say, man, and we may never be there again after this year, quite honestly, with just how the landscape of sports is changing. This might be as deep of a team that could make a run to that Elite Eight Final Four round as there's ever been. And when you've scheduled the types of teams that we've had success against some of them, and we've taken our lumps against some of them. And to me, that's all right. I mean, that's why we schedule the way we do, is to get into those and to get in the mud and wrestle and you're hoping by the end of it that you're having more success than not. And but there's certainly areas that we can get better. And but I think the excitement of going into this week with the players, this is a special senior class that have accomplished an awful lot. Individually as talented as a senior group as I've ever had. And you're hoping that let's finish up the regular season. Let's acknowledge what they mean to our program, and then let's get ready for the next thing in front of us, which is the NCAA tournament.
You mentioned that senior class, and there's basically everybody there's got a future in this sport beyond this coming weeks. And there's a PVF draft today. I see Devin Yett picked in the first round. Where's all that fit in, and what's your take on what's going on as they move forward?
Yeah, you've got there's a pro draft that's happening right now, and it is awesome for the sport. We've got, I don't know, depending on how you count them, 2 or 3 pro leagues that are going, which is amazing for our sport, amazing for our players, tremendous opportunities. Excited about, we'll have some players that may be drafted today, that will be drafted today, and I'm excited about the players. I'm excited about the sport. I think it is. On the other hand, I'm very disappointed. I don't know if disappointed is the right word. I don't think we should be having a draft in the middle in our season. I think that is short-sighted by their league. I almost think it shows a lack of confidence to be doing it during us. I think we're the only sport that is having players worry about an active draft while they're still competing. And I think they're probably taking it of a mindset of, hey, they've got to beat the other league to some players, and we've got to. But I think, we've got a lot of players that are going to be playing professionally. I think it's also unusual that the talent level that we've have and the number of players, there's quite a few of those teams that I've never heard from, a GM or a head coach. I can't even imagine that being the case in some of the other sports. And so, quite frankly, I'm not sure what they're thinking as a league to be putting college teams and college athletes through this and through the emotion that is going to be feeling today. I know they're all excited. But there's a mess on our end of having to have conversations about what their futures are, and the disappointment or the excitement that is away from team stuff that right now that they have to be better at that league. They have to. We've got to get rid of this during our season. I'm incredibly disappointed in the leadership of that league that thinks that this is a good idea to be doing this during our season. Disappointment is that understatement. It's incredibly frustrating. But you can be frustrated with their league and their decisions on that, but extremely excited for the future of our players, and because there is a lot of talent here and there's a lot of opportunity, and that's a place that there's never been a better time for our sport than where we are right now.